All right, this is section 2.3, postulates and diagrams. For the learning target here is I can interpret and sketch graphs. We're gonna leave this section, okay, for you to work with a partner when we get back to class, okay? Let's go ahead and talk about some of these postulates, okay, that are important. I'm going to let you go ahead and read through it, okay? But here we have the 2.1 2-point postulate, okay? So read through that. 2.2, it's a line point postulate. The 2.3 here is the line intersection postulate. 2.4, 3-point postulate. 2.5, plane point postulate. 2.6, plane line postulate, and 2.7, the plane intersection postulate. Okay, so we have a couple of questions on the back that we have to identify, which postulate they're talking about or give an example. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so for example one, right, we're going to identify a postulate using the diagram. So the first one, it says, if two lines intersect, then they intersect at one point, right? You have a dot right there. So if you look on the previous page, okay, you're gonna see that this one is the 2.3 line intersection postulate. Okay, line intersection postulate. If two lines intersect, they intersect at exactly one point. And in B, it says if two planes intersect, then they intersect at one line, okay, right there. And if you look on the previous page, okay, you're gonna see that one is 2.7, is the plane intersection postulate. All right, example 2. Use the diagram to write examples of the plane point postulate and the plane line postulate. So we take a look at the plane point postulate is 2.5. Okay, so this one is 2.5. And the plane line postulate, if you look in the back, plane line postulate, that is 2.6. Okay, so 2.5, it says a plane contains at least 3 non-collinear points. So in order for us to give an example, right, of the 2.5 postulate, we need to come up with 3 points here in this diagram that are not collinear, right? But that lies on the same plane. So here we have this plane P here, okay, the plane P. So we could say points B, A, and C, okay, they're non-collinear. So points B, A, and C. Okay, so that would be an example of the plane point postulate. Now, for an example of the plane line postulates, that the 2.6 postulate. Okay, so for the plane line postulate, now we have to come up with, so it says if 2 points lie in a plane, then the line containing them lies in the plane. Okay, so here we have to find 2 points, okay, that lie in a plane, and then find a line that goes through them. So again, we can look at this plane P here, right? And then we can see that points BA here, right? They go through that line, line N, okay? So points B and A lie on plane P, okay? So line N contains point A and B. That contains points A and B also lie on plane P. Okay, so B and A, right? The points B and A, they lie on plane P. Okay, so that means that line N also lies on plane P. Okay, because they connects those 2 points. All right, so here, your turn. I would like for you to take a look at this one, okay? So in the diagram in example 2, so here for this one, you're gonna use the diagram here in example 2, okay? Which postulate allows you to say that the intersection of plane P and plane Q is a line. Okay, so you're gonna look in the front page and see which postulate that is. Number 2, use the diagram in example 2. Again, you're also using the diagram above to write an example of each postulate. Okay, 2-point postulate, line point postulate, and the line intersection postulate. So the same thing that we did here on the example 2, I would like for you to do this on this one. Then number 3, it says explain why at least 3 non-collinear points are needed to determine a plane. Okay, so go ahead and think about this question, and then we'll talk about this in class. All right, so now example number 3, it says sketching a diagram. Okay, so sketching a diagram. So now we have to kind of look at the directions and figure out what we're trying to do. This is very important in geometry because sometimes you're going to be given instructions, and in order for you to understand the problem, you need to sketch it out, okay, to visually see it. Now I don't have any ruler here, so I'm going to use this. It says sketch a diagram showing line TV intersecting segment PQ at point W. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a segment, okay, PQ. Okay, now I know that line TV is going to intersect, right, this segment, so that TW is congruent to VW. So I know that W is going to have to be the midpoint, okay? And it's going to have to intersect this segment into 2 equal parts, okay? So I can just draw any line here, okay? So that's a line, TV, okay? And the midpoint is W, okay? Okay, example 4. So here it says, we're going to interpret the diagram, okay? Which of the following statements cannot be assumed from the diagram? So remember, you have to have markings in order to assume certain things, right? Or to know certain things. It says here, point A, B, and F are collinear, right? That means they lie on the same line. So let's see, points A, B, and F. Yeah, that is true, okay? That is true because the line is drawn right there, okay? You can see the line right there. Points E, B, and D are collinear. So let's see, E, B, and D. Okay, even though it looks like they could be, right, if I were to draw a line there, the line is not drawn for me, so I cannot assume, okay? So this is false, okay? It's not enough information, okay? Line AB is perpendicular to plane S. So let's see, here's line AB, okay? And here is plane S, okay? So I can clearly see the box right there, and I can see it's from AB to plane S. So this is true, right? Because I have the right angle symbol right there. Line CD is perpendicular to plane T. So let's see, line CD, this line right here, it says it's perpendicular to plane T. Plane T is the one going up and down. I don't see any box there, so I cannot assume. Okay, so that's false. I don't have enough information to tell. And then the last one is AF, line AF intersects line BC at point B. So let's see, line AF is this one right here going up and down. Line BC is right here, okay, going this way, and it says it intersects at point B. Yeah, I can clearly see the point right there of intersection. Okay, so that one is also true. Um, for um, for you now, I would like for you to complete this part on your own. Okay, we'll take a look at it in class. Use the diagram in example 3. So now here, you're gonna use the diagram on the previous page, the diagram that we built, okay, that we sketched. If it is given that PW and QW are congruent, how can you indicate this in the diagram? So we kind of already did that, so take a look over there, okay, and see how we do that. Number 5, name a pair of supplementary angles in the diagram. Explain. Now this part right here, you're gonna use example 4, okay, which is this one right here at the top of the page right here, okay. Can you assume that plane S intersects plane T at line BC? Explain. And then explain how you know that line AB is perpendicular to line BC. Okay, so this is for you to do, and then we're gonna take a look in class.